I wanted to talk about another incident that happened in my life. It was years and years ago now. But I decided this was late in September, and I decided for some reason that I wanted to go camping in the Boundary Waters. And of course, being very wise at the time, I decided to go up in the Boundary Waters all by myself. So I had my canoe, got up there, and it was a very windy day, fighting a headwind getting out to where I wanted to get to. Got lost along the way, made it out and found a wonderful island to sit on, but it was almost dark when I got there. And I remember I sat down, I said, I've got two choices here. I can either put my tent up or I can go get firewood. And I decided that if I pick up firewood and then put my tent up by firelight, that would be the best choice. So that's what I did. Two really interesting things happened. One, the island was pretty well stripped bare of fair wood for fires. So I had to go over to the mainland, so I went over there. As I was walking around looking for firewood, I came through this place that had very long, tall, trees that were probably about this big around at the base, but then got narrower to the top. And as I looked at them, they were all black, and I assumed that it must have been a fire that went through there and took off all the branches. And as I walked by, I had a short little hatchet, and I decided to whack one of those to see what it was like. And as near as I can tell, it must have been held together by the bark of the tree that was there holding this thing totally together, because it literally split into 20 or 30 pieces as I hit it, and everything rained down around me. And I realized that things were within 6 inches of me one way or the other, and on this probably a radius of 5 feet all the way around the tree. And I realized, whoa, that was really stupid. But also I realized that God had protected me through that. Because back where I was at that late in the year, I'm sure if I had been hit and hurt, no one would have ever found me back there. So that was one of the real exciting things in that day. And I didn't say a prayer. It happened so fast I didn't even realize what was going on. I thought about it afterwards, of course. Later that night, I ran into another interesting thing. I don't know if it'll show here on the screen or not, but on this screen there's a little picture of the island I was at. And I had later on been able to put up my little pyramid-shaped tent, and I had my food nicely hung from a tree over there about 15 feet off the ground, and I was in my tent. It was cold. It was late September. I had two really light sleeping bags, one zipped inside the other. My pyramid-shaped tent had my head right down here under the edge, and I finally heard this noise of something coming down the path from the latrine back out to where my tent was. And I realized in the moonlight that there was a bear that walked right next to my tent. And I could see his shadow just covering right over my head on the side. And I remember sitting there thinking, I thought, whoa. First of all, I had an axe with me, but I was zipped inside two sleeping bags. No hope of getting out of the sleeping bags. And so I just lay there very quietly, but I prayed. And what I was thinking of was a Bible verse that I had learned, one that I really liked. It was from Romans 8. And verse 35 and 37. And it goes like this: who can separate us from the love of Christ? Can trouble do it, or hardship, or persecution, or hunger, or poverty, or danger, or death? And those were the things, the danger and death were there first of all in my mind. It says, no, in all these things we have complete victory through him who loved us. And that was the passage I looked at and thought about as that bear was just inches from my head. And I really had absolutely no defense except the Lord God. And I just encourage you to get involved in some of the Bible studies we have available that Pastor Dodge is doing, some of the things we're doing on our Sunday worships. I encourage you to get involved, or home Bible study groups that are reviewing a number of things, that a chance to get those scriptures in the forefront of your mind, so when your day comes where you need a bear story verse to carry you through that, you'll have one there that you can hold on to.